There are several Pokemon in my collection which I would consider to be completely maxed out, not just with IVs and level, but when it comes to getting their best buddy medal as well as everything else that you could unlock for that Pokemon, I have completed them. And that's what I want to talk about in this video. I want to show off some of my Pokemon that are fully maxed out and what it took to get them to that level. Alright, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So today we're going to be talking about some of the Pokemon in my collection which I consider to be completely maxed out. Now for some players that could mean just getting your Pokemon to the highest level. Other people will say it means the Pokemon is the best that it could potentially be. For me, I tend to go with the latter, where it's a completely maxed out Pokemon. It has 100% IVs, it's at the highest level, meaning you cannot power it up anymore. It has all of its charge attacks unlocked and the moves are exactly what they need to be. And then of course, anything else, like getting a best buddy medal on that Pokemon with all the things with Mega Evolutions and Fusions, that the Pokemon is essentially 100% complete. I think for a lot of players, that is something that they do not often think about, or if they do not have a bunch of Pokemon that are at that level. But for me, I've been playing for 9 years now. I've been playing since day one, and there are certainly a lot of Pokemon in my collection where I've dumped a lot of Stardust, rare candies, what have you, into getting it to the highest level possible. So yeah, that's precisely what I wanted to talk about. There's quite a few Pokemon in my collection. If you were to look at my collection, you could see that most of my favorites are already at the top. I tend to sort my Pokemon by name, and then I number all of my Pokemon within their names. Like you can see right here, my Shadow Mewtwo, which is a 98%, is actually 001, 98%. The reason why I do that is because I want it to be at the very top of the list. I use my Shadow Mewtwo quite often, so of course I want easy access to it. Now there's other Pokemon that I have on here that are just mainly because I think they're really cool. Some of these Pokemon include my Shundo Rayquaza, but also Pokemon like my Duskmane Necrozma. These are all Pokemon that I just simply like, and yeah, they're also quite useful. But if you look at some of the symbols of my Pokemon, you can see right here there's kind of like this crown symbol right next to 100%. This is actually to indicate that I have fully maxed out that Pokemon, meaning I cannot power it up any higher. And then of course I unlocked both charge moves, and I also have enough primal energy or mega energy to be able to primal evolve it. So all of these little crowns that you see, those are Pokemon where they're completely maxed out. And of course, some of them do not have perfect IVs yet. Of course, that's because eventually I'm going to get them hyper trained, just like this one right here. This is my Shundo Crown Zacian, which I recently finished the hyper training for. Yeah, you can see right here, there's those dumbbell symbols to indicate that this was hyper trained. So this is a particular Shundo, which is the result of hyper training. And of course, there's quite a few here, like this 93%. Fused, Kyurem. This is going to get a bottle cap one day. I think I have a Crown Shield Zacian, or Zamazenta rather, somewhere in here. That's going to get bottle capped. But aside from bottle capping Pokemon, these are Pokemon with the crown that are just completely done. There's nothing else I could do to this Pokemon. And of course, that also includes getting a best buddy medal. Now the reason why you want to grind it out and get your Pokemon that best buddy medal is because, of course, when you use that Pokemon, it's going to have additional levels if it is best buddy. For example, if I were to switch over to this, let's actually go to my Shundo Rayquaza. This is actually a best buddy as well. You could see by the ribbon on its neck. And when I go to my collection, you're going to see it has orange numbers for its CP. Now, if I were to go into a battle, it's actually going to be a little bit more powerful than it would be if it wasn't my buddy. That's one of the benefits of having this as a best buddy. So let's actually go into this. I believe this is one that's going to have, oh boy. This is going to be the multiple Snorlax battle, I believe. So this one might be a little tough. Yeah, it is. But yeah, this Rayquaza right here, because it is a best buddy and because it is my buddy right now, it's going to actually be just a little bit more powerful. The reason for that is because best buddies actually get, I believe, 2 more power-ups worth of levels that you can get. So it does make them somewhat stronger. And yes, it does count for Master League as well. So if you're someone who engages in PvP, that is something you definitely need to keep in mind, that if you're going to be using Pokemon that are fully maxed out with 100% IVs, you could actually give yourself a little bit of an advantage if you were to actually get it to best buddies and have it as your buddy. That's something that I certainly do if I ever go into the Master League. I use Pokemon that I have as best buddies so that in the case that if I were to, oh, that was actually a bad switch, I should have gone to Mewtwo. But in the case that if I were to go to like a legendary or 100% IV Pokemon, at least I can get those 2 additional levels. So in the case of a mirror matchup, I'm going to be in an advantage. So those are all different things that you do need to keep in mind. It does take quite a lot. It's a very grindy process to get a Pokemon to 100% IVs, but it is also something that is worth it. Like, one of the things that I always do is at least work on 1 Pokemon at a time fully throughout the day. It's another great way to keep yourself engaged in Pokemon Go. But if you were to go through the grind for every single one of your most used Pokemon, it's something I really think is going to benefit you. You're definitely going to see a sizable improvement to your Pokemon Go play. When it comes to raid battles, when it comes to PvP, stuff like Team Go Rocket battles, having best buddy Pokemon is essential. Like, those 2 additional levels can mean a world of a difference, as you can see right here. Alright, so let me catch this Shadow Snorlax real quick. I'm probably going to have a little bit of difficulty, considering it has the dark orange circle, and it does move around quite a lot. But what else? So, going through the best buddy grind, obviously you want to power up the Pokemon to the full potential with Stardust. I believe to get a Pokemon from, let's say if you were to catch it at a raid, all the way to the max level, it's about, I want to say 550,000 Stardust. It's quite a lot. Like, to get something like this fully maxed out, you can see right here, it's just, you can power it up even more. Like, if I were to try to power this up from, okay, so it's about 112,000 plus 250-ish thousand. So okay, so it's a little bit, it's certainly less than 500,000 Stardust, but it is quite a lot. And of course, you need to farm up the, like you can see right here, the reason why I can't max this out is because I don't have the rare candies and the, what is it, the Candy XL. Actually, this one is actually a little bit more. I do believe it is close to 500. Just trust me on that. I believe it's closer to about 100, what am I saying? 500,000 Stardust. It's quite a lot. That's just all you need to know. So about 500,000 Stardust, you need about 255 regular candy and about 200 something XL candy. I don't know. It's quite the grind. 296, that's what it is. Wow, 300, pretty much 300 XL candies of a Pokemon. So obviously, for some of these that are fully maxed out, you can see right here, this Mewtwo, this Shadow Mewtwo is fully maxed out. It's gonna be a lot. Shadow Pokemon also, like, let's talk about this Shadow Mewtwo. When you try to power up a Shadow Pokemon, it actually increases the cost of Stardust and candies. So that is something you do need to be aware of. Like for this Shadow Mewtwo, I believe it took me about 10 to 20% more candy and more Stardust to power it up. It took me about half a year grinding, like getting rare candies, getting rare candy XL from raids, having it as my buddy, which of course I did because I wanted to get the best buddy medal, but also because I wanted to get the candies from walking. That was such a grind. I would walk a tremendous amount with my Shadow Mewtwo as my buddy, and it would basically be about 2 to 3 candy a day. But I think it was worth it, because once I finally maxed this out, it's a Pokemon that I've used so often. It's pretty much in every single one of my generalist teams, whether it be Team Go Rocket battles or gym battles. It's just something that I've used quite often. So if you have a Pokemon that you feel like you use all the time, that might be the Pokemon you might want to 100% focus in on. I do run the tendency of focusing on like multiple Pokemon at a time, but I do think that definitely slows things down quite a bit, because if I were to just focus on one Pokemon at a time and just do everything possible to get it fully maxed out, that's when I start to see results. That's when I start to see these Pokemon actually getting powered up. So that's my suggestion. Find a Pokemon that you feel like is a Pokemon you're going to use all the time, and then just fully max it out, however means you can. You might need to have it as your buddy and just walk every single day to get candies. You might need to do a ton of raids in order to get rare candies and rare candy XL. Of course, you need to catch as many Pokemon as possible so that you can get the Stardust. Whatever it takes, you need to do whatever it takes to get that Pokemon specifically to maxed out. I mean, recently I actually maxed out my Zacian. Of course, this is the one that I got from Pokemon Go Fest in Jersey City, and then I hyper trained it to 100% IVs, and then I dumped all the candies and all the Stardust that I had to get it fully maxed out. It was quite a grind, but it was worth it because this Shundo Zacian, I'm using it pretty much all the time. Like when it comes to raid battles, recently we had Terrakion in 5-star raids. That was a Pokemon that is weak against Zacian, so I did use my Zacian all the time. It does have a adventure effect, which is Behemoth Blade. Really useful adventure effect. I use that also. So of course, like constantly grinding for candies is a must for Zacian. Yeah, there's a whole things you need to consider. So yeah, I would say just get on the grind. Have it something that is maybe one of your goals. I do talk about goals in this, on my videos all the time. Like, goals are something that could definitely keep you playing Pokemon Go. And this could be one of those goals, having one of those Pokemon that is fully maxed out. So yeah, this is something I really want to talk about because I do feel like for a lot of people, they do not necessarily fully understand what it means to complete a Pokemon. But yeah, maybe this is something that could be helpful for you. But in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that I talked about down below. Do you have a particular Pokemon that you have completely maxed out, that you have 100% complete? Definitely share what that Pokemon is. I would definitely be interested to know. And yeah, if you have any questions or concerns or maybe some critiques regarding anything that I talked about, definitely say so in the comments, and yeah, let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the best way you can do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. If you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. That means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts, different things like that. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, I highly recommend you go and check out my social media pages. I'm on the platforms that you see on the bottom of your screen, and my handle is @CountJinsula. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow, and you'll have access to some exclusive content, and you'll be able to keep up with my daily life. And with all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch you all later.